There's the smile.
What is this?
Your beautiful shades! You guys! They said, shut up, you guys!
I love you, Misha.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, I am wondering how long I can go without talking. I think a mime panel is in my future. But I do genuinely like the idea of audience members fighting each other.
You would.
Over their unrequited love for me, because I can't even see who they are. But I love that. Come closer. There's a feisty one right about the middle, right over there. Yeah. She's the one to beat. Have I told you guys the imaginary friend story?
No.
Some of you, yes. Here, have I told it here?
No.
So Richard directed an episode that was called Imaginary Friends. Or whatever, don't fucking correct me. Unbelievable. If you're gonna shout something out, shout out "I love you" or something like that. No, actually, technically the title.
Love you, Misha!
There we go.
More like it. So my daughter is very sweet. The cops are here already? That was fast. That's a record for one of my panels. So she's very sweet, and she has imaginary friends. One of them is named Bobby, and Bobby is around a lot. Bobby is a girl, and one day Mason came up to me and she said, "Dad, Bobby said a bad word." Oh, really? What did Bobby say? Mason said, "Bobby said fuck." And so I choked her and I killed her. Which to me says that she has been raised well. Zero tolerance for foul language. I noticed in myself that I've recently given up on trying to pretend that I don't swear around the kids. And it's so liberating. Because for a while, like, as a new parent, this is what happens to everybody. They try not to swear around their kids, but they do anyway, and then their kids pick up on it, and their kids swear, and then the parents pretend to be outraged, like, where did you learn this? And the kids are like, this is just a word that you say all the time. And then, but it's like this weird lie that you live with the kids. And then I just broke through, and now I'm like, shit. And the kids will look at me and I'll be like, that's right. It's like we're in on it, like, yeah, that's right. I said it. And you can too, and you probably will. There's a sort of traditional format to these things where you guys ask a question and I answer. Do you guys want to adhere to that? You don't really care. Yeah, over there you do. Okay, so the right side, my right wants to do it. Okay, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, what's the strangest fan experience you've ever had?
Well, this is always a tricky question because we meet a lot of people. A lot of them are really serious fans of Supernatural, which means they're sort of a self-selecting group of freaks. And what's that? You're welcome. And every once in a while, there's things crop up that are like, that was fucking weird. But I don't want to hurt people's feelings, you know, by calling out that particular incident as weird, which I've done before, and I feel really bad about having done that. That having been said, I will call out this one person. Sitting at, it was in Australia at a convention. We were sitting at these tables. I think it was like a meet and greet kind of thing, but we were going from table to table. And I sat down at the table, and we were talking. A bunch of people were, just talking on the table. And then I was like congested, and so I grabbed a napkin and I blew my nose.
Oh.
I was like, that's disgusting. You pervert. So I blew my nose and I crumpled it up and set it right next to me, right there. And then kept talking. And then this hand next to me went like this. It was like, and really creepily snatched the used Kleenex. And I thought to myself, that's kind of weird. So yeah, that was a weird experience. I don't know what was done with that. There might be like a laboratory somewhere with cloning in full swing. That would be weird. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Misha.
What was your weirdest fan experience? Do you have one?
I don't really know if I have any fans.
What? With a trench coat like that? How did you not have fans? Alright, well, get back to me when you have that weird story. Oh, you have fans now. You've got some weird fans. Willing to do creepy things, so you start. Hi.
Hi, thank you for taking time out of your life to come and do this with us.
It's a weird way to frame it. It's like, yeah, I had a life, but then I gave it up.
I was just wondering, sadly, as you know, Dishwas is going to be coming to an end now, and I was wondering if you already know what you're going to be doing next, and if so, when will you be announcing that?
No, and later. Was that a satisfying answer? Are you glad you waited in line?
It was worth it to talk to you.
Okay, good. I am having I'm having a 3-day meeting this coming week in which we will be discussing that very question. Those very questions. Yep. I mean, so I'm a little bit weird.
No.
All right, a lot of it, whatever. So I have this thing which is that I don't like to do, it's kind of ironic because I've been working on this show for 10 years and I've been running Gishwas for 7 years or something. But I'm not a creature of habit. I like to do new things. I like to try new things. With Gishwas, I like to try not to repeat things, but it was starting to feel like I was repeating things, that I was sort of drawing the same type of ideas out of the hat. it wasn't by any stretch of the imagination getting tired, but I just want to not get complacent, and I want to do something bigger, better, different, keep changing it up. So what I'm trying to do is sort of like a shake-up where it just becomes something different. I don't want people to, I don't like it when stuff becomes kind of codified and people know what they can expect. It really frustrates me that people are like, oh yeah, I know what's coming in Gishwas. There's definitely going to be a stormtrooper doing something stupid. So I just want to switch stuff up and do more stormtrooper related things. But this year's Gishwas was so amazing. I mean, the submissions were out of this world. People did some. It's just, I'm so amazed by the stuff people did. What? What? I don't care about that. So, yeah, yesterday morning before I came here, I was showing. So one of the items in Gishwas this year was to capture an image of a moon fairy because my daughter Mason had come down and said, "Dad, I saw a moon fairy in my room last night." And she said it like, "Isn't that awesome? Like, it's so rare to see moon fairies inside." And it was in my room, and I said, "What?" I don't know where she even heard of the concept of a moon fairy, but I was like, "Oh, well, that's amazing." So I put it in Gishwas this year to capture a photo of a moon fairy, and then I showed her the pictures of moon fairies, and she was looking through them, and they were amazing. They were like the most amazing photos. People pulled off some amazing shit, and a lot of them look, I have to say, like legitimate moon fairies. And then there's some crappy photos that don't look like moon fairies, and Mason's like, "I don't think that's a real moon fairy." So it's like she's a really good judge for the submissions. Anyway, I love what that thing has become, and I want to give it a chance to like be even better, and I think that means shaking stuff up. So that's it.
I really look forward to hearing the news about whatever's coming next.
Very cool. Thank you. Hi.
Firstly, I love you, and I'm freaked out so much right now. My heart is beating like a million miles per hour.
Luckily, you have a fan man standing next to you.
And secondly, if you could meet anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Who would I meet and why? Well, okay, I guess this is gonna really go over every single person in this room's head, but there's this radio personality, Bob Garfield. Yes! Yes! Are you pretending to know who he is? No, she knows. Bob Garfield has been like my guiding light for 20 years. I sent him a letter in like 1996, I think, asking if I could be his servant. He very graciously wrote me a letter back saying, no. But he is the host of a show that's very smart. It's a radio show called, and it's a podcast called On the Media, and it's about how the press talks about the world. But he used to do these features for NPR that were unbelievably amazing. He had 3 stories in particular that just blew my mind. One was Bob Garfield saves Hollywood, Bob Garfield goes to Nashville, and the San Francisco Treat was the other one. And these were just amazing radio stories. One of them, he goes to Nashville because he has a conference, and while he's there, he's like, how hard could it be to make a hit country music song? And he knows nothing about music, nothing about making a hit country music song, and then ends up, over the course of 2 days, getting Willie Nelson to record his song. And it's just like mind-blowing how he pulled it off. And he did the same thing. He did this Bob Garfield Saves Hollywood, is this amazing 20-minute story on NPR from the mid-90s. And he starts out in a video store, back when they had video stores. You don't even know what that is. But it was like, He was in a video store browsing the titles, and he's like, oh man, there's just nothing good. I could make a better movie than this stuff. And he sets out to make a movie about love and betrayal set against the war-torn backdrop of the former Yugoslavia, or something like that. Like a really dry, really boring pitch that he comes up with. And then he literally calls Warner Brothers, the listed 800 number for Warner Brothers, and talks to the receptionist. He's like, hey, I've got an idea for a movie. And that's how the story starts. And he winds up with a production team and a director attached, making a movie that's about teenage heartthrob surfers. It has nothing to do with this former Yugoslavia thing. It's just brilliant. Anyway, look him up. He's my idol. And the San Francisco treat is about Ray Cerrone. He's in San Francisco. He's in San Francisco and he has his, recording equipment with him, and he's like, is Rice Cerrone really the San Francisco treat? And he goes to a drive-thru at McDonald's and asks for a side order of Rice Cerrone. And that's how that story starts, and he ends up proving that Rice Cerrone and San Francisco have nothing to do with each other. It's just good, hard reporting, that we need. Bob Garfield, thank you. Hi, how are you? Oh, you're like, what am I doing up here? Help!
I didn't have one. I just did this on a dare with my niece.
Where's your niece?
She's in row C.
Uh-huh.
Row C, C58 or not.
Did you dare her to do this? Oh, so you dared her. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. That would be embarrassing. And then you were like, I'll do it. I'll embarrass myself. So you essentially dared yourself to do it. And now...
She when I wanted to come up and if she wanted.
Yeah, but she doesn't. And now you're stuck. Not knowing what to do.
I got a question now.
Oh, okay. What was it?
I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. Have you ever thought about maybe doing a talk show or something? Your interview skills are spot on. Yeah, Ricky Lake, you're the new Ricky Lake. Didn't I? No.
My question is, what is your favorite fight, scene, or stunt?
What is my favorite fight scene or stunt?
Yes, sir.
On Supernatural?
I hope so.
Okay. Did you say I hope so?
Just take his guy.
Was nobody else gonna say something? Wow, now I know who my real friends aren't. I am so angry with you people lately.
Just like scream people.
I did a photo session. I went and it was like huge. It was a big convention. There were lots of people there. We went through like 300 photos, and it was like the second to last person. And I was like tired. I was like, thank God it's the end. And the person comes up and was like, your shirt's on backwards. Inside. I was wearing something inside out for 300 photos, and no one said anything. It's that feisty one again. So my favorite stunt fight scene was we were actually I was just talking in the green room with Kim about fight stuff, because she's been doing some fight training and stunt driving training and gun training. And when I got on Supernatural, I did the first season as a guest star, and they don't put guest stars through special training for fight stuff. But then it was like clear by the end of season 4 that I wasn't a natural. And so they were like, yeah, you know, we're making you a series regular, but it would be great to get you into a little fight training stuff. And I did like 2 hours of fight training, and that was it. And then, I don't know what happened. It may have been that they just were like, you know, this is a lost cause. Yeah. But my favorite fight scene was, Jared was playing Gadriel. Is that the right name?
Yeah.
And we sort of set up this little booby trap for Gadriel, and the idea is that he comes up, and out of the blue, I just like sneak attack and punch him in the face and knock him out. And Bob Singer was directing that episode, and he had this idea that was sort of a take on some like 70s grindhouse film style thing, where basically I just punch right at the camera, and the audience like sort of feels the blow that Gadriel should have. And so Jared walks up, I do the punch. Video Village, it's called, is where the director and the script supervisor and the cinematographer and a bunch of other people are sitting behind the cameras, and Jensen was there for some reason as well. Everybody was watching on the monitors, and I did the punch, and everyone started laughing. And then Jensen came out, and he was like, that was hilarious. And then he looked at me, because I was like... And then he looked at me again, and he was like, oh, that wasn't a joke? And apparently Gadriel had come up, and they played back the footage for me so I could see, and I had done this. Take that. So, they know not to mess with me. Now all the scripts are like, oh, there's a brutal fight scene, Castiel watches from the corner. Thank you. Hi.
My question for you is, what is the weirdest thing that's happened on the set of Supernatural to you?
Getting pie in the face.
I mean, that is, there's a lot to choose from there. I think early on it was a challenge working on Supernatural. My castmates were abusive. And there were things that were happening that I don't think any amount of training could have prepared a person for. We had this one scene, and it always stands out in my mind. There was this one scene in the episode called about My Bloody Valentine's? Maybe? The Valentine's Day episode? Did I nail it? Yeah. Time? Don't correct me. Okay, so anyway, we had the scene, and Jared and Jensen were standing on one side of the table. It was in a morgue. There's a heart on the table, and I walk up to the table delivering some dialogue, and then I get up to the table, and as soon as I land, I'm still talking to Jared in the scene, and I feel something like between my legs.
Oh,
and
so what are you doing with your foot?
he had a broom handle, and he was like, tickling. And at that point, I was new enough on the show that I was trying to hold it together, and I felt like somehow I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what am I supposed to do right now? I was so helpless. I was so utterly helpless. And he's tickling my balls. And I'm trying to still get through the dialogue, but I can't help but smile because that's what happens when someone's... And then when we did another take, and the director, who's again in Video Village, doesn't see the broom or any of that shit. He just sees me like smirking during the scene, and the director's like, "Misha, come on, man." And I'm like, "Oh no, they're gonna fire me." And then the first AD saw what was going on and took the broom away from Jared. Thank God. We did another take, but unfortunately Jared has long legs.
Oh, that's where that one came from. What are you?
And I'm trying to talk to Jared or Sam or whatever is it Sam? Sam? I'm trying to talk to Sam in the scene, and I'm getting this foot job. Yeah. And I kept laughing, and he wasn't being helpful at all. And then Jensen said, "Misha, just don't even look at him. Don't say the line to him. Say it to me." And I was like, "Thank God, someone is finally throwing me a lifeline." And so the camera is right over Jensen's shoulder, like this, so the camera doesn't see his face, just mine. And I come up to the table again, and I start saying my line, and Jensen goes, and so this is the environment that I was working in, and it was very challenging, very, very challenging. And that shit still happens now. The difference is I no longer try not to laugh. I just start laughing. I'm like, all right, well, I'll sit here and I will laugh at anything. It takes nothing to make me break. Jim Beaver breaks for nothing. Tickle the shit out of his balls. No response. Very professional, that guy. Hi.
Hello. So we've had an episode from the perspective of the Impala. What would it be like to have an episode from the perspective of Cass's trench coat?
Well, judging from his laundry regimen, I'd say it'd be very dark and smooth. He never takes that thing off. So it's got to be, thank God television isn't in smell around. Because Cass would be stinky. I think that the idea of a lapel cam is not great. As I process it, I don't think it would make great television. It would be a lot of profiles of thighs, a lot of just dark, sort of backside of a suit shots. Not good TV. That's why they don't do it. Yeah. But thanks for asking. Hi.
Hi, so my question is, what's your go-to dance move?
I used to, dance, oh boy. I used to do a fair amount of dancing, and I think that my friends called me a funky robot, so they characterized my moves as funky robot.